Hello, investors, and welcome back. Let's talk about Proterra because it is on the exact same time, I believe, end date. They're doing their earnings on Wednesday, May 4th. I believe it's at 2 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, the exact same time as the FOMC statement. And then Fed Chair Powell is supposed to talk at 2:30. And typically, in the past, I can't guarantee that this is going to happen again, but this has been a negative marker on the calendar for the market in general. And how does the market respond? This is how the market responds when Fed Chair Powell speaks, unless he plans on doing something a little different. And when we come back here and we look at this and we don't see this 0.5% rate hike, we don't see this what the market expects, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see how the market responds. Now, next week, I also want you to watch AMD, Lyft, Moderna, and NEO. I think those are all good plays to be in tune with what happens with those stocks. I'm not going to make any predictions during this video. Now, last week, we had a 1,000-point decline. And what we've seen historically in the market is when it all tanks about 1,000 points, it typically comes back. There could be potential that the market is green on Monday and then starts its trend back up on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we start to see it sink back down again, or we could even see some pressure early on Tuesday. But be aware that where you think a price target is for buying a stock, it could be much lower than what you thought it was, because I believe we have this cliff that's been building since COVID, and we're waiting for that drop to reset and restart. Now, Proterra, according to FinViz, is looking mighty low. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk about it not only because the earnings is coming up, and not only because there is negative sentiment across the entire EV market, but there's been a lot that's transpired. And I don't want you to lose faith if you're still invested in this, but I want to be realistic with you. In my last video, I told you if you're looking for growth this year, this is not the stock for you. I don't see this stock growing the potential that we thought it was going to, because during these quarterly update meetings, we get to understand if the stock is still on track. And it's not. They're not doing what they said they were going to do. They're postponing everything till next year. We had the Proterra Transit president step down and just now get appointed here recently. So we're going to see some possible potential volatility with this. And if not, then we're just putting somebody else in this position that's going to kick his feet up on the desk and take a nap, because I don't know what anybody in this business is doing. They're sure as hell not building buses. They're not building additional batteries. And you know what makes me say that? This chart right here, the operational metrics. I'm not making it up. 54, 52. What were you doing? Were you sleeping? You sure as hell weren't managing the supply chain, and you weren't being proactive with your critical parts. Back here, you weren't streamlining the number of parts it takes to make a bus. And now you got a new guy coming in, and he's supposed to come in and figure it all out. Well, if he doesn't get a meeting together with his engineers and listen to them and their concerns and pull them together and get some kind of meeting, this will never change. We're just going to stay flat. You'll never have a second shift. We will never know what your critical parts are. They'll all be critical parts. This will never improve. Now, what we will see an improvement on, and where they should be investing money, is going to be Proterra powered. You know, that's where the CEO, current CEO, was running this prior to moving into his position. So he's going to be placing special emphasis on this, baby. You better guarantee it. So I guarantee you're going to see those numbers improve. And that's the direction that this business should be going. Now, there should be enough good people here in the company that are able to run this without an executive with his feet on the desk, just kind of kick back, taking a nap. Now, I don't know what's going on with this charging infrastructure that's supposed to be installed, but we've got to see better stability there. How are we not building the charging infrastructure needed to power these buses? We sure as hell are not putting solar panels on them, so that innovation isn't taking place. We've got a price to sales trailing 12 months of 3. Sounds low, sounds like a great deal, right? It's better price than we've ever had before. Don't worry, it's probably going to get even better. I'm not trying to be bearish. I'm just trying to be realistic. I hope I'm wrong, but my money is not here. I'm trying to tell you the growth is not here. It is flat. And these are probably some of the best numbers in the EV market. I mean, look, they couldn't even stay gross profit positive. And this was the whole basis of me being excited about the stock. Volume. They needed volume to get their gross profit straight. Now their cash flow statement, let's see if that's positive. Nope, negative. They're bleeding money. Their net income. Now we knew that they were not going to be profitable till probably 2023, 2024. Let's see if that can even happen with all these new costs involved in the supply chain. It's going to be scary. 62% upside, that's a joke. 12, 25, the high, median price target, 10.08, $8 low price. Analysts are going to come and downgrade the stock. I just can't see them being like, yeah, this is $23, this is $12, this is $10. When the market just continues to go down and more people think that they can come in and steal business from the space. We've got an equal weighting here. These last three, Barclays, Morgan Stanley, I mean, they're all equal ratings, right? There's no buy here. Nobody's saying come in and buy. And if you look at the EV index, this S&P electric vehicles index, it's going down. The entire EV market is kind of going down because of the price of oil. WTI crude oil is increasing. We still have a crisis over there. We haven't fully realized it. We've got inflation. Supply chain has not gotten better. And, people are pulling their money out. You're seeing this. Okay, this is the way the stock market was. It was going up like this, right? It's come down and hasn't completely dropped and reset. But what you're seeing is the price do that. It's coming back. And growth is not growing, especially Proterra, until Q4. Now, that's the whole reason that we listen to these earnings calls, is to say, okay, looks like things are turning around. And you know what? I would not try and time the bottom on this. I moved this green line. If you're looking to trade this, you don't plan on staying in it long. 615 looks like it barely hit, but it could go down further in anticipation for Fed Chair Powell's meeting. 665, we've got to see if that's resistance and it can get above that and stay above that. But I would watch this 30 on the RSI. You can see that this is barely getting over the 50, but is sitting in a downtrend in my opinion. Right here, 778, that's a line of resistance, bam, bam, just keeps hitting it over and over again. You want to know where to sell this? You want to know where to buy it and then sell it? I would say 778's held up pretty good. But what if 778 moves down to 712 or moves down to the high sixes? I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen. Right here, this previous line could possibly turn into resistance. Right here, that looks like a line right there, 731. I mean, it's just really hard to say. I haven't done a video on Proterra in a while, and I think you can see why. I haven't tried to lead anybody with this stock down a bad path. I was hoping that they could grow and not be complacent, figure out these critical parts, and invest in those areas where they need to have parts and to just make sure they got them. If you look back here at their inventory, I don't know what they're carrying, but their inventory has never been higher, and maybe they are able to transfer this into batteries and buses. That's what we're hoping right here. 114 million just sitting there, just accumulating. Look, 92, 91. Okay, all right, let's get our act together. No, what happened here was these, the wiring harnesses and whatever else, complicated supply chain issues. They do not have the software necessary to be proactive on these and to do the proper investments. Whatever they're doing to handle supply chain issues, it's not working. And there's no excuse. There honestly is not an excuse. I want to see these inventory numbers come down. So final thoughts with Proterra. This is a wait and watch. I wouldn't do anything with this right now. I don't believe we found the bottom. You need to confirm what's going on with this company in the next earnings. If you would like me to watch the next earnings, be sure to comment below. I hope this didn't upset anybody, but if it did, then maybe you get your blood flowing and you go take a look at the risks that were posted on May 15th in the document, the SEC filing. I would challenge you to do that. Do not get married to any stock. Be sure to protect your money, and I'll see you in the next video.